Hello students, I'm your science teacher back again with our science chapter 2 components of food part 4 video. Okay, in the previous videos, that is in part 1, 2 and 3, what we have learned till now, let's recall it quickly. We know about the nutrients, right? Then we know now that there are 5 main components of food: carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins and minerals. Okay, we have learned their sources, their types and functions also, right? Further, we know that apart from these 5 main components of food, roughage, that is dietary fiber, and water is also important constituent required by our body. So we have learned about roughage and water also in video part 3, right? Its functions and sources, we know it now. Okay, in this session we are going to learn about balanced diet and the deficiency diseases. Okay, children, if a child does not get enough proteins in his or her diet for a long time, he or she is likely to suffer from severe malnutrition. Okay, so here the deficiency of proteins in diet leads to a disease called deficiency disease called Kwashiorkor. Okay, this disease is common among children of 1 to 5 years of age. Let's see the symptoms. Stunted growth, skin becomes dry and scaly, that is patchy skin you can say. Then hair becomes reddish and begins to fall. So at the age of 1 to 5, the hair begins to fall. So just imagine the condition. Then the body swells up due to retention of water. That condition is nothing but edema. Then limbs, especially legs, become thin and bony. Then large pot-like belly. Okay, now the body swells up means of course the belly also swells and it looks like a pot. And bulging eyes. Okay, so these are some symptoms of the protein deficiency disease, Kwashiorkor. The next one is PEM. Okay, now the deficiency of proteins, carbohydrates and fats in the diet of children leads to a disease called marasmus, which is also called as PEM. What is PEM? It's protein energy malnutrition. Okay, lack of carbohydrates, proteins and fats in the diet is called protein energy malnutrition, that is your PEM. Okay, now this disease generally affects infants under 1 year of age. Let's see the symptoms. Body becomes very lean and thin and so weak that the child may not be able to move. Then skin becomes dry, thin and wrinkled. Ribs become very prominent, can be seen from outside. Okay, sunken eyes, and the child is unable to digest or absorb food and may suffer from diarrhea. The children here, the child is not able to digest and absorb food means it takes a long time to recover this deficiency disease. Okay, now the rate of these two diseases, Kwashiorkor and marasmus, in urban areas are not that much. Okay, it's nil you can say, but in rural areas, in the early, it used to be seen that most of them was suffering from this diseases. Now right now it is being lowered. So the government also took some measures to treat this malnutrition. Okay, so they started midday meal scheme. Now this midday meal scheme has been launched by the government of India, which is also called as school lunch or school meal program. The aim of this program is to provide free nutritious food in the schools to prevent malnutrition and to promote education in rural area. Okay. Now this scheme was introduced first in Chennai in 1925 and it has now been implemented by all states of India. Let's see the deficiency diseases caused due to lack of vitamins. We know that there are different types of vitamins and every vitamin is having its own function, right? So they do have a specific deficiency if in case the body lack that particular vitamin. Okay, let's go through the table quickly. Vitamin A, the deficiency disease caused by vitamin A is night blindness. The symptoms are loss of vision, that is poor vision, inability to see in poor or dim light, and at night the person cannot see properly at night. Everything is blur for him. Okay, vitamin B1, the deficiency disease is beriberi. Symptoms: tiredness, weak muscles, digestion problems, and heart problems. Next one is vitamin B2. So the deficiency disease of vitamin B2 is skin diseases, where the symptoms are swelling in throat and tongue, cracked skin and lips. Further, lack of vitamin B3 causes pellagra, where the symptoms are like it affects the skin and it affects the digestive and nervous systems. Vitamin B12, so here the lack of vitamin B12 in the body gives rise to a disease, deficiency disease, anemia. What are the symptoms? Low red blood cells, the count of RBCs in the body decreases, okay, makes the skin look pale, lack of energy, shortness of breath and loss of appetite. You don't feel like eating. Okay, the deficiency of vitamin C is scurvy. What are the symptoms? Swollen and bleeding gums, okay, loosening of teeth, delay in healing of wounds, severe joint pains and weakness. Okay, so you need to eat more and more citrus fruit so that you don't get all these symptoms. Generally, bleeding gums is a common thing which is been found, right? Next one is vitamin D. The deficiency disease is rickets. What are the symptoms? Weak and soft bones, stunted growth, bow legs, pigeon chest and decaying teeth. Okay, so it's all related to the bones. The bones, the development and growth of the bones is not proper, and that's why you have bow-legged, pigeon chest, and the teeth decay. And it's vitamin K. The deficiency disease is hemorrhage, uncontrolled bleeding. Okay, the bleeding does not stop. Excessive bleeding takes place, and the blood does not clot, it does not coagulate. Okay, so what are the symptoms? Difficulty in clotting of blood, then gum bleeding and getting brushed easily. Okay, it gets crushed easily. Okay children, let's see the deficiency diseases caused due to minerals. Okay, lack of minerals in the body also causes deficiency diseases. The first one is calcium. Lack of calcium in adults causes osteoporosis, and in children it causes rickets. What are the symptoms? Weak and brittle bones. What do you mean by brittle? Can be broken easily. Okay, decaying teeth, excessive bleeding, short and deformed bones. Then iron. The lack of iron in the body causes anemia. What are the symptoms? Fatigue, pale skin, white nails, loss of weight and loss of appetite. The person don't feel like eating. Phosphorus, rickets in children. Deficiency disease is rickets in children. Okay. And what are the symptoms? Weak bones, stunted growth, teeth deformities. What is deformities? It is a condition in which some part of the body is malformed, not developed, or growth is not proper. Okay. Bow-legged, pigeon chest and curved spine. Your vertebral column gets curved. The person cannot stand erect. Okay. Next is iodine. The deficiency disease or the deficiency of iodine causes goiter. What are the symptoms? Enlarged thyroid glands. If you remember, students, I told you that these thyroid glands are present in the neck region. So the neck gets enlarged and it forms a ball-like structure there. Okay, I'll show you the picture. Then retarded physical and mental growth in children. Okay, if you remember the function, I told you that this iodine is essential for production of thyroxine hormone, which is necessary for overall growth in the child. So as there is lack of iodine in the body, the person suffers with physical and mental retardation. Last one is sodium and potassium. Lack of sodium and potassium in the body causes muscular weakness and paralysis. What are the symptoms? Muscle pain, then weakness, vomiting, diarrhea and difficulty in breathing. See the images, children. The first figure is about the deficiency disease rickets. Okay, it can be due to vitamin D, it can be due to phosphorus. Okay, the second figure is of scurvy, that is due to lack of vitamin C. And the third one is goiter, lack of the mineral iodine. Okay. So students, we have covered the complete chapter now, and let's revise it quickly by seeing the summary of the chapter. Okay, what we have learned in the complete lesson is the main 5 components of food, that is carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals. Okay, the carbohydrates and fats are the energy giving foods, proteins are bodybuilding foods, and vitamins and minerals are protective foods. Okay. Also, we have seen that sufficient quantity of water and dietary fiber should also be present in our diet. Further, we have learned about balanced diet, right? So our diet should be balanced, that is, it should contain each of the components in the right amount. And lastly, we have seen the deficiency diseases, that is lack of protein, lack of carbohydrates, lack of vitamins and minerals causes certain deficiency diseases. Okay, so here we end up with the chapter, and students, with this video, that is part 4, I'm sending the notes also. You're going to write the notes in your notebook, the question answers also in your notebook. With notes, one worksheet and one subject enrichment activity will be also sent. So kindly go through it and do complete it in your holidays. Bye. Take care. Stay home and stay safe.